They came back with the 10th.
They got their 10th horn.
Their 10th horn, and I think it was a French horn. It was not a cheap one, but they got it free.
Well, it was a wonderful family. I think most of the kids ended up being doctors or something like this. Very, very intelligent children.
And I think farmers, but very supportive of music and music education.
But you don't have that touch anymore, I don't think, with the business. And I think people in my era, back in those days, will tell you the same thing. Like she said, it's not fun anymore. It's
it has its moments.
Well, yes, it has. I can't say it's bad. If it was bad, we still wouldn't be in it, you know. We enjoy it. Well, actually, we're not in it except during the summertime.
You get recruited.
Primarily in the fall.
Right.
Recruitment time.
Right.
Do you remember your first sale of an instrument?
Oh, no. But I remember our first school that we went to, which is a little school that's not there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little town by the name of Waterville. It was the first rental program we put on after we bought the store. Because nobody from the store ever called on any school before. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. But that was the first one.
What was that experience like?
Well, I had done it for years with the store I worked with in Davenport. So it wasn't anything new. It was new for them. And so I enjoyed it, but I always have enjoyed it.
Did you get involved with that sort of thing, the recruiting?
I did not have the background to get involved with recruiting. I did some of the bookkeeping. I did when we started. I did the bookkeeping for the instrument rentals, and I did those all by hand. Of course, now everything is on computer, and
we started computer 25 years ago.
We've been in computer for this is our second or third system.
Oh, at least.
Complete with upgrades.
At least.
And we had one computer to keep the band instrument rentals on, and now we have what everybody has. We have them all over the place. We're computer.
Another person back in those days when I was with NAMM was quite active was Nick Peck, and I think Nick is still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and his son Scott, and my son, oldest son, are very good friends, and they go see each other occasionally.
How neat.
Yeah. Which all started, you came through the music industry.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you got involved with NAMM.
I don't know.
Well, I think Pearl recommended it.
That could very well be.
Yeah, he encouraged us to that and ASMD both. I mean,
right. I think Pearl was that.
He opened some doors for us.
And of course, at that time, Steve was there when he was about that high. Back in those days. Now Steve's out of it.
Do you remember anything specific about being on the NAMM board?
Oh my. At that time, our first meeting that the first year we belonged, I think the first meeting we went to was at just south of
Key Biscayne, wasn't it?
No.
Okay.
It was the other one, just south of Rancho Mirage.
Rancho Mirage, or Rancho something south of Palm, just west of Palm Springs.
Right, and that was the first one we went to, and that was very enlightening. You learn the first year. So you don't try to put your foot in your mouth, but the second meeting, one of them was at Rancho Mirage. I forget which one. Not Rancho Mirage, but Key Biscayne.
Yeah, Key Biscayne.
Well, that was the second or third one. Yeah, I think we were in for 3 years.
Yeah, that's. I don't remember where was the third one.
I don't either.
Maybe you know.
I'll have to look it up.
Were they? Didn't they first have their meeting up in?
At the Palmer House.
No, well they had.
Where they had their trade shows at the
that was a
Palmer
trade show. I'm talking about Lake Geneva or somewhere. We first started going to meetings there.
That might have been.
Yes, and that was way, way, way back when it first got going. And that was crazy because it was in the wintertime.
That's NASMD you're thinking.
Oh, was that NASMD?
Right, NASMD.
Oh, okay, that was NASMD. That wasn't
our
NAMM.
first NASMD meeting in Florida. Remember that very well.
NASMD?
Yes, at the Galt Ocean Mile.
No, we went to the one in
Well, no, our first one.
in Elkhorn or somewhere up
Our
there.
first one outside of the frozen Midwest.
Outside the frozen
And
Midwest.
that I can remember. That's when we were lying on the sand of the beach in front of, after a session, and they worked all the time. The sessions were really very
good.
intensive. And Pearl West sat up and looked all around. He says, "I wonder what the people who can't borrow money are doing now." He was full of witticisms like that.
He sure was.
Yeah.
I remember we had Harry James at the hotel. He was playing at the hotel we were staying at.
Harry James.
For NAMM.
Guy Lombardo.
Yeah. No, that was Harry James then.
Okay.
Right. Was that the first one that we went to?
For NAMM, I don't remember.
I don't either. Anyway, some of those things you recollect, but as far as business-wise, at the meetings, they covered everything, and I can't point at any one individual thing, really.
Was it a help to your store to be a part of NAMM?
Oh yes, because NAMM put out a lot of educational stuff too back in those days.
Well, they still do.
And they still, I know, but that's when we started, and so it was a big help. What can we do to help the music store? That's what we were trying to do, and so that's when a lot of that came out back in those days. Actually, when did NAMM get started? You could roll?
The first NAMM show was actually 1902.
So that's a long time ago.
Yeah. I wasn't at that one.
And neither were we.
You weren't there either.
We weren't there either.
We went to our first NAMM show with Cook's music. Drove into Chicago, downtown Chicago.
1950.
1950, 51,
51,
52, somewhere thereabout.
Yeah.
See, Russ taught, but he did repair for Cook, and he also would help him.
No, that might have been about 53.
Yeah, would help Cook with recruiting.
Oh, okay.
And going to programs.
That's where we started calling on the schools, and I was doing that.
Who was the owner of Cook?
Rural Cook was his name.
R.N. Cook. And he
had a music store in Muscatine, and then he bought out Hooklist in Davenport.
That's how I heard the book. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Davenport.
And then eventually his son-in-law took it over, and his daughter. And they. But that went the way
he left to join. He went back to school and became an Episcopalian minister, a priest. He and his wife, of course, went with him, and.
That was his son-in-law.
It was son-in-law, yeah, Bill Raydan.
Bill Raydan was his name.
Very fine clarinet player, and Jackie.
Very fine flute player.
Cook's daughter was a fine flute player.
Wow.
See, there again, even the second generation were the education oriented.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Did you guys belong to a skull group or anything like that?
No, we discussed it occasionally at times, but we didn't.
No, we didn't.
They were really popular, I think, about that time.
Yes.
They were. We were asked to join.
Yes, we were.
One or two, I think.
But we never.
It was
did.
just one of those things.
There were different groups, and I don't know. I know Rusty and Wendy are acquainted with them, but I don't know what they're doing with it.
Did you guys feel an impact at all with the British invasion when the Beatles came? Did that affect the store sales at all?
It did in record sales.
At that time, we were selling records. And yes.
And
definitely.
Yeah, some in sheet music, but we didn't. At that time, we weren't that heavy in sheet music. So.
It's amazing to think of how many trends in music have come and gone.